Y'all know who this is. If you don't know, you've been under a rock. I am Mr. Don Trip. This is Dirty Glove Bastard off the porch.
They say money can't buy you happiness, but being broke ain't worth a bag of shit. I don't really care about half this shit, but when they...
Do you have a personal favorite song or most meaningful song that you've done?
That's an ill one.
I think you're still pretty much known for Letter to My Son.
Yeah, Letter to My Son is the hardest song. I haven't listened to Letter to My Son since I did it. Yeah, since I probably stopped performing in like 2012, 13, something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it since. But Letter to My Son is bittersweet. It's it's my calling card.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that for the fact that that's what what put me in a space to be recognized.
Yeah.
But it's my real life.
Yeah.
So it's not a
it's not a happy song.
Yeah, it's not. You're right. It bring me to I still have to deal with some of that shit, and that's a record that it's like a reminder, like a constant reminder that I'm still in this situation. It still hasn't improved the way it should. I'm still going. I got a court date next Monday, as a matter of fact, for the shit that's in Letter to My Son.
Oh, wow.
For the same children. Yeah. And another one in June because I'm fighting to be appreciated as a father. Like the court was man. They had no problem putting me on child support. I got no problem with child support. I get it. But I feel like if you're gonna make me pay for the children, give me the right to take care of them. And the court feels like, they got a standard thing you get every other weekend. And that sounds cute every other weekend. But if you do the math...
That's, 4 days out of a month?
Exactly, it's 4 days out of 30.
30, yeah.
So you telling me that a mother would accept 4 days out of 30.
Oh, no.
Right, but it took two people to make the child, but the court doesn't care. Like you can sit and the judge will tell you they don't want to hear nothing you got to say. So that's shit. I'm still battling with that now, and hearing that song, kind of just kind of adds on to it. And at this point, I kind of need to ease to the stress instead of add on to it. But
Yeah. Do you have another song or?
It kind of switches, man.
Yeah.
Like I say, I never stopped making music, so it's tricky. Like it's a record I love. I wasn't able to put it on this tape due to some producer situation. Okay. But it's a record. Well, I guess saying the title would be pointless, but it's a record that I really felt near and dear, and I wanted to put it on tape, but that just didn't work out. Hopefully, I can work it out and manage to get it on the next album. But I plan on releasing quite a bit of music this year.
Yeah. What are you talking about on that one song?
That one record is about. I give a brief description. Like in the first verse is about two cats grew up with each other, and they both in a trap. One sell, I can't remember. One selling one selling weed, one selling powder, and pretty much the shit that take place in every this same ordeal, because this happens everywhere. But that's two different paths. There's two different people going on two different paths. Just for the fact that you're selling two different things, that's gonna put you on two different paths. Because it don't take rocket science to know you're gonna give more time for the powder than the weed. And either way, in the record, they fall into turmoil just because they've grown apart. And the second verse is about a woman who's in love with the lights. She only wants the dope boy. She only wants the trap nigga. And it's a lot of women that that prefer MC Lyte record was a roughneck. I want a roughneck. And I got I'm not shunning that. I'm not saying you shouldn't want the bad boy, whatever the fuck you want what you want. Yeah. But in that verse, I put it all in perspective. Like you can. It's okay. If that's the kind of cat you like, but you signing up for something.
Yeah. Be ready for the content.
Right, you gotta know that there's more to that. If it's an actual trap nigga that you're dealing with, you know, some of these people aren't what they pretend to be. But either way, you know, in that verse, that's, you know, pretty much what I portray. Like I give you the vision of, you know, what's really, you know, what really occurs. You know, it's not the norm. It's not the only thing that happens, but it happens. And you know, if you want to trap nigga, then you can't be shocked when you wind up being charge partners. Yeah. Cause that's what you signed up for. You knew about it. They know you knew about it. You know, you kind of gotta bite it, and here's what it is.
All right. So you mentioned you plan on dropping another album this year.
Indeed, two more.
2 of them, okay. Because normally you average about one album a year.
But like I was saying a second ago, I started seeing the residual effect as far as, you know, as far as the listeners, as far as the people who loyally listen to my music. And when I started peeping that, when I started running into people who were in love with the meaningful records, that said something to me, and I was like, you know, I owe it to, you know, to my fan base to be a little more accessible. So, you know, I plan on, you know, putting music out in abundance. Yeah. And that's the kind of shit you couldn't do a few years ago in music. You couldn't put tape out to tape out. And now, niggas is putting out tapes that got 30 records on it. So, you know, fuck it. Ain't no rules, so why should I follow rules that don't exist? Yeah.
Do you have a title for that next project?
The next tape is tight. I'm not locked on one yet. Okay. So for now, Don't Feed the Gorillas.
That's hard. That's hard. All right. Do you have a bucket list feature? Like, is there someone you haven't worked with that you would love to work with?
Andre 3000. That would be like the top of my shit. Just because I think his shit's dynamic. Andre was the only person I ever. More people probably do it. I don't know if I'd be as entertained. But he was the only person that I ever heard that could stop mid-word and use the rest of the word on the next line. And you know, that shit was kind of unique to me. And like I say, you know, I always been a student of music. Yeah. And just, you know, I'm not so much a fan of the singing Andre. I don't know. I like my rap music to be rap music and my R&B music to be R&B music. Not to take nothing away from Andre. I think he's incredibly talented. And some of that shit, I still like the Hey Y'all. You know, I still sing that shit, and I don't remember the last time I heard it. It just popped in my head. But either way, you know, the rap Andre, I think he unmatched. I don't think nobody's really fucking with Andre. Other than Dre, Titty. I did a record with Titty Boy, but that wasn't a record with Titty Boy, if that makes sense.
I want to do it. Featured on it, or?
No. It was a feature for me. What happened? I know this is when I was signed, of course. Oh, okay. But I had we locked in the Titty Boy feature, and I went in and recorded a record for me and Titty Boy. And then, you know, the people that get to make the decisions. Not so much the people that get to make the decisions, because I have more of a say than most people. But I think that was one of the reasons why it just didn't work. Not the song, but the situation. Because I had more say than most people. But I think, I don't regret nothing from it, but, you know, it was shit that they was trying to get me to do that I wouldn't be able to live with myself with doing. Or, you know, the person that was trying to get me to pretend to be, I can't be. And, you know, maybe that's, you know, maybe me complying would have, you know, skyrocketed my career, maybe not. If's the biggest word in the dictionary, so, you know, I just let that be what it is. Either way, I recorded the record for me and Titty Boy, and they sent him that song. He sent it back, and then they took his verse off of that and put it on another song. And I'm not an engineer, so I could never get the song to go back. To get his verse to go back to the song that I wanted it on. So when the tape came out, I had a choice, either not use the Titty Boy feature or use it on a song that I didn't want it on. So I had to use it on the song I didn't want it on. And this day and age, nobody really do in-person records no more.
Yeah,
I'm an in-person person. I would like to be in the studio with Titty Boy, even though I probably wouldn't be able to see through all the smoke in the studio. But I recorded records with Juicy J, and Juicy smokes a lot of weed too. So, I got, but I bring fog lights. Yeah.
Some goggles.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. And let's see. How would you describe your career? Because you kind of, like you said, a lot of things you've done are organic, and a lot of things you've have done it your own way.
I think early in my career, I was disappointed. I was disappointed because, of course, I caught a major record deal and it didn't move, period. Like, a lot of people get a record deal and shit just flop. I was unfortunate enough to not even get the opportunity to flop. So, with that, like I said, shortly after that, around that time, I was disappointed with my career. And it was in Arizona once. I don't remember what the fuck we was doing, but I was in Arizona at a Wendy's. This was after the deal, maybe 2 years after the deal. I was in Arizona, we in the Wendy's, was standing in line, and this little Asian kid in front of me, and he turns around and looked me right in my face. And I'm like, man, what the fuck is going on? I had never been to Arizona, so I really don't know what's going on. So he stared me right in my face, he got out the line and jumped on a skateboard and left out of the Wendy's. I'm like, that was very weird. So, I step up, I'm just like, he jumped out of line. So, that was already weird enough. So I'm like, damn, he didn't want food no more when he looked at me, so I didn't get it. But, we step up, a few minutes pass, I order, and when I step back, wait on the rest of the people with me to order, I turn back around, and the kid back, he came back on a skateboard with more Asian kids on skateboards.
His friends, yeah.
And, I'm just thinking like maybe he turned around and realized something or something. I don't know, I didn't know what the fuck. But when he came in, they came in with their phone. And they came in playing Letter to My Son on his phone. And they was all comparing, like, that's him.
See if it's you.
Right. And I'm like, I'm from Memphis, so I'm all the way across the map in Arizona. And it's an Asian kid. Yeah. So, that incident right there was the thing that made me say I can still do it. That, maybe I won't be as big as Jay-Z, maybe I will. Only time can tell that, but in the meantime, I'll do what I want to do. Yeah. And at some point, I had to look at my music the same way and just go at it and say, I'm not gonna follow the rules. It's already it's already a Jay-Z. It's already a Andre 3000. I don't have to, follow their footsteps, so to speak. I can really make the music that I want to make because that's how they got what they got, by making the music that they want to make. Yeah. I mean, shit, I'm an Andre 3000 fan, and Andre 3000 doesn't have a rap album out. Yeah. He never made a solo rap album. So, that goes to say that, you can do it your way. Yeah. So that's how I approach it. I just do it my way. It's a lot of shit they tell me to do that probably would help push, help further my career, but it should just be, it'd be shit I wouldn't be able to stand on. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to do nothing I'm gonna be ashamed of. Yeah, the price tag on it, it's a lot more glamorous, but I gotta live with that. Yeah. And I ain't really, I don't rock with doing something I ain't gonna be able to live with. You gotta keep in mind, I gotta go home to my kids and explain to them why their daddy got a dress on in this video. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a whole nother. But that's how I look at it. Not saying that they wanted me to wear a dress. I'm just saying that's the magnitude of the shit. I gotta be able to stand on that. Yeah. And like my son just recently asked me about a Letter to My Son, and it's about him. And that's what he's asking. Like, is it about me? And I'm like, yeah. And you have to understand that. This is me telling him that you gotta understand that there's things going on that you don't understand. You have to understand that you do not understand it. And, I let them know, like, I don't hate your mama. That was a record done, it was in the middle of what's going on. And I explained to him that everything I say, I mean, And yeah, that was inappropriate, you know, because I probably called her a bitch 700 times in the song, but I've never called her out a name in real life.
Yeah.
But you know, like you asked earlier, is music therapeutic, and that was, you know, right. That's, you know, some people go see a psychiatrist to do what I did right then, and the fucking microphone is my psychiatrist.
Yeah.
But you know, that's basically what I had to explain to him, like, you know, and I told him, you know, you can be upset with me, and later on, when you do understand more of what I said in that song, it's okay if you're upset with me. I'm a man, I can stand on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I spawned a broken family just off bat, so you know, that's not something I'm proud of doing. If in a perfect world, all my kids would be by the same person.
Yeah.
But we ain't in a perfect world, and you know, so be it. And that's kind of my thing with my kids. Like, you know, as they're old enough, you know, I tell them about shit that I done that they should never do. But I do that because growing up, all the shit they said don't do, they just said don't do it.
Yeah, they didn't tell you why.
Right. I mean, if you tell me why, you don't, you know, like with a stove, you don't say, hey, don't touch the stove. You say, don't touch the stove, it'll burn you. Right, it tell you why.
Yeah.
So you automatically wouldn't touch the stove. I know this is gonna burn me. Or if I'm gonna touch it, I'm gonna prepare for the burn.
Yeah.
But you know, when it comes to the advice they give you in life, you know, parents or, you know, adults period, they just tell you not to do shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I can't, you know, I feel like I would be continuing the cycle if I only told my kids not to do shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you what to do, what not to do. It's, you know, the parenting shit, that's a whole different thing. But, you know, as they grow, when it's time for them to be people,
Yeah.
then, you know, I'm not going to tell them what to do and what not to do. I'll tell you how that went for me. And, you know, hopefully I can guide them right.
Yeah. No, that's real. Yeah. All right. When it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want to be the artist that chased his dream, that did everything he wanted to do, and still remained a father. Cause I kind of never seen it. Like I seen it with, like we see it with Jay-Z, but it's vice versa. Jay-Z was established already.
Yeah.
I mean, well fucking established before he started having children.
Yeah.
So he kind of wasn't his back wasn't against the wall yet, as far as being a father already. Not to take, I'm not saying he should be discredited as a father because he didn't have kids before now. That's great. If I could have chose it, that would have been wonderful. But, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, the people, you know, that share my predicament, that had kids before fame, and, you know, with a person they didn't settle down with, like, you don't really get to see that person being the father over that person being an entertainer, if that makes sense. Like I see a lot with Will Smith. Like, I admire that. But you don't get to see that a lot, especially in rap music. In rap music, you'll see a rapper, when they have a new kid, you see the new kid. And then you don't even know he got 7 other kids until you get to fucking, you know, the people start commenting, and they like, well, where your other 7 kids? And you like, damn, I ain't never knew, I thought this was his first child. I don't ever want to be that rapper, ever. I mean, rappers ain't the only ones that done it. You know, all of the old R&B singers and shit, it was the same way they weren't raising their kids. They was on the road. It was means to an end. They had to do what they had to do, almost like a truck driver. You know, this is how I provide. In order to provide, I have to be gone. In order to take care of home, I have to be away from home. So I get it, but I think I'm fortunate enough to be in an era where I can dictate how much I'm gone, if that makes sense. Like, of course, I want to be gone as much as possible to a certain extent. I still want to raise my kids. I don't want to ever, even if I'm ever rich enough to hire a full-time nanny, I wouldn't hire a nanny because I want to raise my kids. Like, you know, I monitor what they watch on TV, the iPad, even though they're super tech geeks, the same way I am. But you know, I monitor what they take in. And I want to always be able to do that. I want to always be able to, I don't expect to, like, you know, if my son ever, or either one of them ever decide to do activities, they ain't really at the ages for all that yet. For me to be, I don't believe in pushing nothing on nobody.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna take my son to go try out for basketball if he don't want to play basketball. For all I know, he wants to be an artist, or right now it's not the age to really know what he wants.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, he might want to be a fucking chess champion or some shit. Like I can't remember the dude's name, but the super chess dude.
Yeah.
But basketball ain't the only way to get it. It's my job to provide for him. He's supposed to be able to chase whatever dream he got. Shouldn't be a stipulation to it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I just want to be able to be present as a father, and still be, an artist.
Yeah, no, that's real. All right, final question.
Appreciate it.
What does Dirty Glove Bastard mean to you?
Dirty Glove Bastard. Like I said a second ago, with my career being organic, Dirty Glove was one of the first people, if not the first people, to fuck with me when no one knew who I was. Not a soul. Like, that's the hardest, that's the hardest time to catch a break, when no one knows who you are. And Dirty Glove reached out, and we know we've had a relationship since then. And a lot of my son is about to be 10 years old. So that was a 10-year relationship. And through that whole shit, I've never seen something that made me have to reach out and say, hey man, what kind of shit y'all on? Like something in person. It's sometimes that shit, sometimes I maybe overstep because I'm an in-person person. But I think that if I got something to say to you, I'd rather be the one to say it to you before I say it to a second person.
Yeah.
I don't really, either way, I say all that to say that I feel like, Dirty Glove Bastard is a genuine brand. I think just for the fact that they fucked with me when nobody knew who I was, and still fuck with me now, and I'm not a top tier artist, that let me know that they appreciate the music, they appreciate they appreciate the people on the ground that's grinding. So that mean the world to me. They say what is it? You treat the janitor with the same respect as the CEO. So I think Dirty Glove Bastard is the brand that do the same thing. They treat the janitor the same way they would treat the CEO. And that's how I live, so it's mutual. I respect it, I love it.
What I wouldn't give for a moment of peace. Sorry, but daddy got somewhere to be. I never stop cause the grind never stops. And if I ever stop, we got nowhere to sleep. I take the time out my day to go up to the school to have lunch with my babies. I hop on the road.